Health Minister Kwabena-Mintah Akandoh says the ministry has received cabinet approval and clearance from the Ministry of Finance to effect payment for over 13,000 unpaid nurses and doctors. This follows a protest mounting pressure on government by the unpaid nurses who have been demonstrating to demand the unpaid salaries. Now, speaking to the media in Accra, Health Minister Kwabena-Mintah Akandoh confirmed that effective November, payment of all salary arrears for nurses and midwives as well as doctors will begin.
Those that we have succeeded in putting them on the payroll are about 10,000. But out of the 10,000, 7,000 of them are being paid, and 3,000 though on the payroll, but they are not being paid. So you will hear situations like, yes, I am on the payroll, but I'm not being paid. That is why I'm giving you this explanation. So 7,000 are being paid. Ladies and gentlemen, issues of salaries and monuments. As a ministry, we must necessarily collaborate with the Ministry of Finance. We cannot do it alone. And so we have an outstanding of 6,500 nurses and midwives whilst we were taking steps to onboard all these people onto the payroll and get them paid. So don't forget, out of the 10,000, some 3,000 have not been paid, and about 3,500 have also not been put on the payroll at all. So making 6,500. Especially so when that was not the only difficult situation we inherited. So anytime you go to the Ministry of Finance, it is about putting another weight on the public purse. I'll give you examples. We had health professionals who had completed their housemanship, and some of them doing their housemanship without clearance in 2024. So we successfully collaborated with the Ministry of Finance to get about 883 of these officers getting clearance so that they can get their allowances. You recently had some junior doctors threatening to go on strike. They have started work without clearance, without salaries, without pay. Again, we collaborated with the Ministry of Finance, and as I speak to you now, we have succeeded in getting them clearance, and they are being migrated onto the payroll. We had about 800 medical doctors who had finished their housemanship, but they were still at home without clearance. As I speak to you now, the Ministry of Finance has issued clearance, and all these medical doctors are going to start work with immediate effect. And with this one, our priority areas are in the rural areas.
And Health Minister Kwabena-Mintah Akandoh has urged the Ghana Health Service to show leniency towards a nurse captured in a viral video using offensive language during a protest by unpaid nurses. Now, GHS issued a query to the nurse, Bernice Abuaji, citing breaches of its code of conduct, including abusive language and bringing the service into disrepute. She has until October 24 to respond. Now, in a statement, the minister acknowledged the service's professionalism, but appealed for compassion, emphasizing the government's openness to criticism. He encouraged health workers to express concerns respectfully, and warning that against indiscipline during protests, that the ministry reaffirmed its support for peaceful demonstrations, but cautioned against the use of abusive language in public discourse.